Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today is Monday, September 22, 2025. So we'll take a look back at last week. It was a good week for the stock market and an interesting week for the bond market. So first of all, Dow was up about a little over 1% last week. It's up almost 9% year to date. S&P was up 1.25% last week. It's up 13% year to date. NASDAQ up 2.2% last week alone, up over 17% year to date. And the Russell's been playing catch up. That was up 2.16% last week and is now up almost 10% at 9.8% year to date. Turning to the bond market, I wanted to point something out that we got the interest rate cut last Wednesday, but interestingly, especially on the short end, yields and interest rates have moved back up since the announcement. So we come into the Monday morning, the 2-year is at 3.60, 3.6%, the 10-year at 4.14%, and the 30-year at 4.76%. So again, I would keep an eye on these, on the bond market and these yields, given that interest rates got cut last week on a very short term. The overnight, the overnight rate is what the Fed controls. But the bond market took rates up a little bit. Maybe it was just priced in. Certainly it seems obvious that it was priced in to some degree. But maybe it's just pointing towards inflation coming back, or an expectation of inflation, or growing economy and those type of things. So looking forward, there's really not much going on this week. PCE, the Consumer Expenditure Index, which is an inflation gauge, that's out. Powell speaking, but really as much as was going on last week, there's really not much going on this week. And a couple of things I think looking out, there is the end of the month and end of the quarter next week. And, that could always see some, stock manipulation and some, things going on that are just, different from any, economic narrative. So that could go on. So the end of the month, it's also the end of the quarter, which is important. And then also, as we come into October 1, now there's some expectation or possibility of a government shutdown, and the division in Congress about what to do with a continuing resolution, and it got shot down on Friday afternoon. But now would be a few days out. We've got to figure out what we're going to do or face a government shutdown. So that may take some headlines and the market reaction as well. We'll keep an eye. Be back on Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share, and also keep the comments and questions coming. We appreciate it. Goodbye.